like, comment, share, subscribe. Welcome to Flat Life TV. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Edward Simmons, who was released from Louisiana State Penitentiary after serving 30 plus years. Mr. Simmons, welcome to the show and congratulations on your freedom.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Can you can you describe your life before prison and what led you to commit the crime that resulted in your incarceration?
My life before prison, I think I just was a wild kid. I was just wild, doing things, crazy things. Not looking to go to prison, but just doing things that young people do. Not taking advantage of a lot of stuff. Being ignorant. And I got caught up. I got myself into a situation that I had no idea that I'd ever be in, but it happened. You know.
Yes, sir. How old were you when you went to prison, and how did you feel about the sentence you received?
I was 17 when I called the charge, but I went to prison at 18. Man, when they gave me the life sentence, I didn't have no feeling. I didn't feel anything. I knew I took a person's life. You know what I'm saying? And I was responsible for that life. So I just accept the time. I didn't even think about it, man. I mean, I had been questioned about it. I didn't feel nothing. I didn't feel a thing.
All right. Do you think your upbringing or your environment contribute to your actions?
No, man, I think that was a decision. I think that was just a impulsive decision. I don't. My environment ain't had nothing to do with it. I came from a two-parent home. My mom and my dad, they loved it. We had a good family. I come from a good family. It was totally on me. That was my choice. I chose to stray and get into the street life.
Yes, sir. What was your initial experience like when you arrived at prison, and how did you adapt?
Oh, I was my initial when I arrived in prison. It's a place. Prison is a place that I don't think nobody in the world would like to be. But when I arrived, I was just trying to get familiar with everything. So I made a lot of mistakes. I went through a lot of changes in prison, stayed on lockdown and things of that nature because I was rebellious. I hadn't been in prison before, and I didn't want to be in prison. So I wouldn't cooperate with a lot of the things that authority was telling me, or ask of me.
All right. How did you spend your days in prison, and were you involved in any programs or activities?
Yeah, when I first got there, I spent a lot of my time in the cells. I used to do a lot of reading. I did a lot of reading. I educated myself in the cell. I'm self-educated. And then when I got into population, after I changed my attitude, I went to population. I accomplished some things in education. I got my high school diploma. I went to computer school. I took up different trades while I was there. I think everything for me being in prison was beneficial. You know.
All right. All right. Did you have any particular difficult or violent experience in prison?
Oh yeah, I stayed in the aggravated fights when I got there. When I first got there, prison. When I first went there, prison was the bloodiest. Angola was the bloodiest prison in the nation. And when I got there, I had to establish myself as being a man, letting people know I ain't gonna take no stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I had some incidents.
All right. What was your mental and physical health while incarcerated?
Oh, my mind. When I went to prison, I never forget. My dad told me, "Look, be the same person that you was on the street. If anything happened, don't worry about it. We gonna work it out." So I was good mentally. I always been a strong young dude, so I was good mentally. Physically, I was in good shape. I always stayed in shape, so I was ready.
All right. All right. How did you maintain relationship with family and friends while incarcerated?
Through phone calls, through letters, you know, basically phone calls and letters, visitation.
All right.
Um,
Were there any moments that stood out in prison?
yeah, one moment stood out particularly when when I attempted to commit suicide, I was about contemplating doing killing myself because I had been in prison 30 something years, and I said, man, I got enough of this, and I'll never forget. I just hit a white boy with a tree, and that white boy came by my cell, and he said, Simmons, man, he said, you ever tried Jesus? I said, no, man. I said, Jesus ain't gonna do nothing for me. I said, I just hurt too many people. I said, and I'll never forget the white boy said, Simmons, God is the type of people that you the type of people that God look for, you know. And he said, bro, you pray. I said, I don't know how to pray. He said, just like you talking to me, pray. And man, I'll never forget that night. I laid back, I prayed, and said, bro, that was the best night I ever had in prison. That was my change right there.
All right. Okay. Okay. How do you think you've changed as a person since your incarceration, and what lessons have you learned?
Well, I've learned life lessons. I think my incarceration made me a better person. If I had stayed out here doing the things that I was doing, I probably would have been like so many other people that's out here that's misguided and stuff like that. But prison help you find your principles again, the things that family once taught you about life, you know, being responsible for your action and stuff like that. Prison taught me a lot of that.
How did you deal with your feelings, anger, frustration, and hopelessness in prison?
I used to walk the yard. I used to walk the yard. When I get angry, I used to always walk the yard, run. I liked it to run. I liked it to exercise. That's how I used to relieve myself a lot of things. I used to go pump iron, you know. That used to help me.
All right. What was going through your mind when you were released from prison?
Man, how people gonna respond to me, especially family. I was wondering how they was gonna respond to me because when you leave prison, everybody always see you in a bad light, or they always remember the bad things about that person that he once was, But that's was my only fear. But I didn't come straight home, so I went to Baton Rouge. I had a different way of adjusting. They sent me to just a facility, and I got familiar with a lot of things, and it was a nice change, man. The people responded really well. They helped me, and I'm real thankful today.
All right. How long you did in prison?
I did 40.
All right. Okay. How are you finding the transition back into society, and what are challenges you facing?
I think right now, dealing with society is good. Society is not bad. I just think dealing with people in society, because I talk differently, I see things differently, and people have a problem with my concept, you know, because I don't think like normal people. When you go to prison, your outlook is totally different. You appreciate things more. You know what I'm saying? Everything is more appreciated. And out here, it's liking that. You know what I'm saying? So when a lot of people I talk to and I say I be courteous, excuse me, stuff like that, it's like it's not normal for people to do that. And I
Hmm.
find that kind of difficult being out here.
All right.
You know?
What's your what's your support system like?
Oh, I got a job. I got a good support system. I have a job. I have family. I'm good.
All right. How is it adjusting to modern technology after being incarcerated for so long? What has been the most surprising or overwhelming aspect?
Oh, the telephone. Trying to understand this telephone, man. They got so many things on these telephones, man, and but I'm getting it because like I said, I went to college, computer school, so I'm good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It take a few minutes, but I adjusted well.
All right.
You know.
How do you think society has changed since you've been away? What cultural shifts have you noticed?
Oh, I know society has changed tremendously since I've been away, man. And the changes I see so many people that I once used to know, and like they don't have no zest for life anymore. You know what I'm saying? I see so many young brothers living on the street. When I left and went to prison, you didn't even have that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody cared about everybody. But now, nobody look like nobody cared. I see a lot of youngsters they running around, but they don't know what they be doing, man, because I was once like that. You know what I'm saying? I paid a great price for that foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's good.
Do you think the justice system is fair, and do you believe your sentence was just?
I think the justice. I think that the way to the justice, the scale is balanced more towards the system. And for me in my situation, man, I took my situation a totally different approach. Because I had killed a man. You know what I'm saying? I had no right to kill this man. I took this man away from his family. Perhaps his future children and things like that. So, I think in my situation, it was just. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
'Cause
How do you think the prison system could improve to better support rehabilitation?
I think they can come up with more programs. You still need a lot of programs in prison, because they can't accommodate the programs they have, like the welding school, the Bible college, computer school. It's not enough to accommodate all the prisoners that's there. You need more things in order to, and take them out the field, give them schooling and stuff like that.
All right. What do you think is the most pressing issue that faces the justice system today?
The most precious, I think, lawyers. I think dealing with lawyers, man, lawyers are so corrupt today. You be thinking that lawyers is in your best interest, but all the time they not. You can't really count on a lawyer. You be giving lawyer all these monies in order for them to do some things, and a lot of time they working against you, even when you're paying them.
What would you give someone struggling with similar issues that led you? What message would you give someone struggling with similar issues that led to your incarceration?
Right now, man, I would probably tell a person, man, to pray, man. I said, because prayer became my biggest weapon in prison. If it wasn't for the grace of God, I wouldn't even be out here because I killed a man and they wanted me to do a life sentence. So I would tell a person that's struggling right now, man, you need to talk to God, man, because God can change everything and anything, man. He changed me.
Yes, sir. Do you have any advice for young people who can be at risk of getting involved in crime?
Yeah, my advice would be to young brothers, man, that's doing crime and things like that, or thinking about doing crime. Just think twice, man. And look, a lot of people, young people, get into crime because of peer pressure, wanting to impress their friends and things like that, man. Be your own man, man. Make your own decision, man. You don't have to do what your friends do in order to be accepted. You can be socially accepted by yourself, man. Love yourself, you know.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Simmons, I want to thank you for sharing this powerful story with us. Your resilience and determination is truly inspiring.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man, wanting to interview me for this, man. It's good, man.
Yes,
Life
sir.
is good. Thank you, bro.
No problem.
Ah.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.